All right. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jordan Glasgow, and we are live with our ABA Law Student Division Membership Benefit Roundtable. I am your 8th Circuit Governor, and I represent the law students in the Midwest, comprising of Missouri, Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota. Here today, we have a great group of people who are going to be talking to us about membership benefits at not only the national level but also the state and local level. So we have Fabiani Duarte, who is the chair of the National Law Student Division. He goes to Mercer Law in Atlanta, Georgia. And we have Dan Barnett, who is the Lieutenant Governor of Membership in the 8th Circuit, and he is a student at SLU in St. Louis. So without further ado, let's start with kind of the history of the ABA. So Dan, do you want to touch on this a little bit?
Sure. So the ABA, of course, is the National and International Bar Association. It was founded in 1878 by 75 lawyers from across 21 states. And the Law Student Division specifically was created in 1967. It succeeded the American Law Student Association and is the largest student organization in the country. All students attending ABA-approved law schools are eligible to join the ABA Law Student Division. Dues for the Law Student Division are currently free, if you don't know that. There are some other changes that could be coming with membership in the Law Student Division that we'll touch on in a little bit. But the mission of the ABA is to one, serve the members, provide benefits, programs, and services which promote members' professional growth and quality of life, improve the legal profession by promoting the highest quality legal education, promoting competence, ethical conduct, and professionalism, and promoting pro bono and public service. Another goal is eliminating bias and enhancing diversity by promoting full and equal participation in the association, the legal profession, and the justice system by all persons. And also eliminating bias in the legal profession and the justice system. Being from St. Louis, we're right in the hotbed right now of bias and things going on with Ferguson and the Black Lives Matter movement. So we've been spending a lot of time in the city focusing on diversity and ensuring equal access to justice. And then also advancing the rule of law. Increasing public understanding of and respect for the rule of law, the legal process, and the role of the legal profession at home and throughout the world. And under that is also holding governments accountable under the law. We've seen some issues with municipal courts in Missouri, and that is, again, one of those goals of the ABA is to ensure equal access to justice, and also holding not just individuals accountable, but the government as well. And then working for just laws, including human rights, fair legal process, and assuring meaningful access to justice, again, for all persons, regardless of ethnicity, and their ability to hire counsel, and then finally preserving the independence of the legal profession and the judiciary. Most people probably don't know that the legal profession is one of the last self-regulating professions, and we want to make sure we keep it that way.
All right, so thanks so much for that overview, Dan. And now Fabi is going to talk about what the ABA can do for law students, because that's one of the questions I get all the time is, well, I have this membership and I get all these emails, but what is the ABA doing that's relevant to me? So Fabi, if you want to touch on that a little bit, you have the floor. Hang on, you're muted. Oh, there we go. Ah! I should not be allowed to run this control panel. Okay, there you go.
All right, no problem. Hey, everybody. So glad that I'm able to join you guys today. Well, I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia. I go to Mercer Law School, and I know that I missed some of the introductions there at the beginning, but I'm so glad that y'all are on this webcast today. So yeah, how can membership and the ABA work for you? Well, this year we have a three-pronged theme. I call it BAR, B-A-R, and I think that's a really great way for you to kind of conceptualize, visualize what it is that the ABA is doing, how it's working, in your lives. The B for BAR stands for Bold Advocacy. And so one of the things that Jordan is working on and that other members of our 23-person national board are working on is advocating for issues that impact law students across our country. There's 115,000 American law students in ABA-accredited law schools. And one of the things that we've heard and seen that affects them, we surveyed about 20,000 law students. The Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is one of those. Maybe you're like me or have classmates who want to be public defenders, assistant district attorneys, want to serve in the JAG Corps, be legal aid clinic attorneys. If you know people like that, or maybe people who want to enter the nursing, social work, or medical professions, the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program is a huge thing that right now, unfortunately, has been voted to be eliminated by the House, and the President's budget, unfortunately, is also seeking to cap or reduce it, or even eliminate it as well. So the vote in the Senate that is going to occur here in November will be a defining moment for thousands of law students who went to law school depending on the ability to work in public service for 10 years and then have the remainder of their loans forgiven after that 10-year period. Maybe some of you are familiar with that. I know I'm very familiar with it. I worked for the Air Force for the past year, and I seek to become a JAG officer. I wouldn't have necessarily pursued that career choice if the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program wasn't an option that I could rely on. So that's a big initiative, and things that we're doing, for example, there are we've been creating these 30-second videos. Maybe you've seen them on Twitter or Facebook or other social media branches. The reason we're creating videos is not only to tag senators and get their attention, but also because 3 people who have created these 30-second videos will be chosen by the ABA's Grassroots Division. Their office is based in Washington, D.C. They're lobbyists, basically, on behalf of the ABA. They will be invited to join the D.C. delegation to go and lobby members of Congress. So that's a big deal. And so we hope that you or your SBAs or your classmates, family members, whoever, can maybe help create some videos or even just tweet. The hashtag is #LoanForgiveness. #LoanForgiveness. And if you check out Jordan's Facebook page, my Facebook page, the ABA Law Student Division's webpage and Facebook pages, our Twitter feeds, you can see that's a big initiative. What else are we doing under the B of the BAR, of Bold Advocacy? Well, another big thing for this year is advocating for the proliferation of the Uniform Bar Exam. Now, that's a thing that we've been able to, again, survey thousands of students, and it has come back as something that many are very passionate about. The ability to have a degree that is mobile and transferable without having to wait after 5 years of practice in a certain jurisdiction is something that is really appealing to lots of students who are graduating in the current economic market that we have. So that's a way that we are working for members and law students across the country. What we're going to be doing with that specifically is we've been able to craft a Uniform Bar Exam resolution that has been getting input from judges, former ABA presidents, and leaders from across the country, and that is going to be presented in front of the ABA House of Delegates in San Diego in February. So that's a big deal. And if that changes, that's how standards for the ABA changes. That's how the standards for pay credit are being influenced. That's how standards for our profession, standards for model rules of conduct, that's how those are created. So this is a big stand that we are taking on your behalf. All right, that's the B. Let's move to the A and the R. Okay? So A stands for approachability. Specifically approachability to the other sections, divisions, and forums in the ABA. So the ABA has 34 sections, divisions, and forums. So that's other divisions, like we're the Law Student Division, and then there's a Young Lawyers Division, and there's other groups like the Practitioners section or division, and the Law Practice Division, a Judicial Division, lots and lots of different types of sections, divisions, and forums. And beyond that, there's task forces and committees and conferences and groups, commissions, on specific areas of focus or practice, international affairs, military, things like that. So right now, with free membership, which Daniel was talking about, there are many benefits that come with that. One is automatic affiliation and activation in the Young Lawyers Division. So once you become a member of the Law Student Division for free as a law student, you immediately become a member of the Young Lawyers Division. On top of that, you get to add 5 of those 34 sections, divisions, and forums. So that's pretty cool. Sorry, my fingers are going really close. My camera. But anyway, so that's 7 affiliations, which basically is networking, jobs, contacts, regional meetings, lots of opportunities like that are really priceless in many ways. Like I said, I'm pursuing or thinking about an Air Force JAG career. Many of the interviews and connections that I was able to make with the Air Force happened at the ABA regional meetings. So that's a big deal. All right, another way that, now let's move to the R of that acronym. The R is relevant programming. So I don't know if any of you guys saw on Twitter yesterday or on Facebook, or if you were on iTunes or Stitcher, or even on Google Play, but the ABA Law Student Division launched our official ABA Law Student Podcast, hashtag Law Student Podcast. So if you check it out, you'll see our first 5 episodes where we interviewed United States Senator Lindsey Graham from South Carolina. We interviewed Richard Conviser, the founder of Barbary, which many of us will be paying our respects to in many ways, or will be interested in seeing how the other side does it if you're affiliated with another bar prep course. We interviewed ABA President Paulette Brown, and also different members of those sections, divisions, and forums that I was talking about, those SDFs, as we call them, sections, divisions, and forums. So if you check those out, it's free. Please subscribe to that podcast. That's a way that we're bringing you relevant programming right to your pocket without creating any stress or issues for you. If you do subscribe, please rate and review it. Another way that we're providing relevant programming is through our new website. So we have a new website that's being rolled out here in November, just next month. We're extremely excited about it. Maybe you are too, if you've struggled with navigating our kind of sometimes difficult to navigate website. Unfortunately, that's not our fault. It's the ABA's platform that they use. But we, the Law Student Division, have received a special dispensation where we can break out of that, and we can provide you many more benefits much easier in a much easier way. For example, on that new website, you'll be able to set up a phone call with individuals who are lawyers or practicing attorneys to just get advice. You'll be able to maybe even meet somebody up for lunch or dinner to get that one-on-one type of wisdom, right? We're calling these like coffee shop talks. Number 2, you're also being provided with a resume, a type of review opportunity there. So that's a big deal. And you'll also be able to see all the competitions, fellowships, scholarships, and the funding that we provide to law schools to put on programming. So all of those things will be available on our new website. So that's a way that we're helping you provide relevant programming, or to you, yourself, or your school. One other big thing in relevant programming is our partnerships with groups like the Young Lawyers Division. They are sending out panels to schools across the country to host events in front of law students, and then for free, and then to invite you, law students, for free to attend their regional meetings and their regional events. They have them occurring in different sectors of the country. Again, what a great opportunity to, in person, create those connections, build those bridges for jobs, prospects, professional relationships. So that's a big deal. So again, if you have any questions about any of that, the panels that are coming to your schools, the webcasts also, well, I forgot to mention that we're going to be co-hosting and hosting with them and other sections, divisions, and forums, about questions about the podcast, questions about advocacy. Visit our website or visit Jordan's page, my page. Feel free to contact us if you have any questions. those are all ways that we're bringing some very tangible benefits to you, our members. And if you have any other ideas, please add them. We are working on developing our premium membership. One thing that is already out and available to everybody, maybe you're aware of it, is the Quimby membership, which is free. So Quimby is a law student resource, right? It's basically outlines and a law study resource that's online. Basically every book that law schools use for any subject, and they've outlined every chapter. So it's more than outlines than maybe you would find from students. It's outlines that are tailored to books that you guys use. So there's a difference. What outlines that you would get from law students are tailored to a class or a professor. These are outlines that are tailored to textbooks. So that's a huge thing, and it's free for 6 months for any member of the Law Student Division. And we're adding more benefits. So we have a big announcement coming in the spring. I'm not allowed to tell you about it just yet, but just know that there's many, many more benefits coming to members of the ABA, and fortunately, it's free for you. So make sure you join, or make sure that other people have joined, because that waterfall is just going to keep soaking you up. So hopefully that's good, and if you have any questions, again, please add them in the group chat or email me.
Great. Thank you so much, Fabi. I just want to touch on a couple more benefits that we have beyond our bar platform this year, and I was disappointed, Fabi, that I was not mentioned as one of your featured guests in your podcast. But, no hard feelings, I guess.
If you run for Speaker of the House, maybe apparently it's open right now. It's open.
Yeah, well, I'll be announcing my candidacy, I guess, in this webinar.
Great.
But so I just want to touch on a couple more benefits. Something that is kind of one of the keystone benefits throughout the ABA are discounts on products and services that you receive just by being a member. And so that can be on travel. Specifically, Hertz gives ABA members discounts on car rentals, airfare, and hotels. I know that Hilton, Starwood, several different large hotel chains offer benefits just for ABA members. Also, Brooks Brothers is a fabulous benefit we receive. I believe it's 15% off every time you go to Brooks Brothers or use your Brooks Brothers membership online. And then every now and then, it's about quarterly, they'll email you and say, hey, we're having a sale, and you get a 30% off discount on everything, which is fabulous, especially when you're a new law student trying to find what looks good for an interview, what looks good for networking. Brooks Brothers is a fabulous resource. Also, UPS shipping and Office Depot are two big discounts we have. Office Depot, obviously. Highlighters are in dire need during law school, so be sure to stock up at Office Depot for that. And also, Sprint offers wireless plans at a discount for ABA members. Beyond kind of those products, the ABA offers insurance through the American Bar Insurance Company, and you can get health, home, renters, long-term care, auto insurance through them, which is very beneficial, especially because many people, especially during the first year, are not allowed to work, and so you can't really get benefits from an employer, so you can maybe kind of bridge that gap by using the ABA. And also we offer a credit card. I believe it's through Visa. Like Fabi said, we have networking opportunities. The next networking opportunity that will be in the 8th Circuit will be our circuit meeting in the spring, which will be probably around mid-February. And we're still kind of tinkering with that. I want to hear from you guys about where you want to be for the circuit meeting, whether that's St. Louis, Kansas City, Des Moines, Omaha. I want to know where you want to go. Next, we have publications. I'm sure you guys have seen that you get invitation, or you get subscriptions to the Student Lawyer magazine, which comes out quarterly now. You also get the ABA journal sent to your home. If you sign up for those sections, divisions, and forums, you also get e-newsletters and sometimes in-print publications. And also, I mean, the CLEs are something that are incredibly valuable, and we're working right now to get discounted or free CLEs for law students. So be sure to look for that coming up. There was a resolution that passed at the annual assembly this July, so hopefully we can get the ABA to move on that a little more. So let's talk about how we get involved. Now that it's free, it's just a click of a button. You go online, you sign up. Next year we'll have the premium model, which Fabi talked about a little bit. With the premium model, you'll automatically be enrolled in our basic package for law students, which will remain free, but you can opt to get premium benefits, which may be something like Quimby that Fabi talked about, or some other great benefits that are apparently secret right now. And so with that, you would pay a fee to be able to access those great additional benefits. Join a section, division, and forum. There's no excuse not to now that 5 are free. Specifically, I'm a member of the state and local bar section on the state and local government, excuse me, and I really find that valuable. The Urban Lawyer is their scholarly journal, and it's published through my school, and so it was really great to be able to network with those individuals at an event this summer in Chicago at the annual meeting. And also, you can submit articles for our newsletter that comes out about once a month. We're working right now on our October newsletter, and we would love student submissions. So that's how you can get involved. So next, we'll talk a little bit about state and local bars, which I'll pass back over to Dan, who is actually a staff at the St. Louis bar, so he'll have some more information on that. If I can unmute you. Okay, there you go.
Thanks, Jordan.
Sure.
Okay, so excuse me, my light just went off. Just a second. Oh, one of the pitfalls of working in the bar. So I am the Assistant Executive Director for the Bar Association of Metropolitan St. Louis. That whole big mouthful, we just call it BAMSL. Is the metro bar for the St. Louis area. We have about 6,000 members, including law students. And we do a lot of the same things that the ABA does. We just do them on a more local level. We do offer free membership to law students for the full time you're in law school at an ABA approved school. We also offer our first year of an attorney membership is free for those who have just passed the bar. And then all law students, and then the new lawyers, those that are age 36 or within their first 5 years of practice, automatically become members of the Young Lawyers Division. And are encouraged to get involved with young lawyers. It's a great group of people who know what you're going through. They've been recently in law school, or they're young and they're starting their families. They know the struggles of trying to balance work and life, and how do you maintain your billable hours that you have, and still try to have a life outside of work, and then also how do you deal with the student debt that most of us are accumulating, those stressors. Get involved in that. Most of the local and state bars offer either very discounted memberships or free memberships. We're kind of unique in that all of our sections and committees are dues free, so any member of BAMSL can join any of our sections and committees without any additional cost. It's included in their membership. And we also do a monthly magazine that the attorney members get a hard copy, but we make the digital version free for everyone. Students are not, so you can get access to that. We also have a quarterly bar journal that's the academic, very in-depth version of our publication, and we do weekly e-newsletters with what's going on at the bar, what events are coming up, how you can get involved, and we do all kinds of volunteer opportunities. One of our signature events is the Motion for Kids program. So this is a program that we've been involved in. We started about 25 years ago, I think. It's getting up there. But we partnership with the St. Louis Bar Foundation, which is our charitable arm, and then the St. Louis Rams to offer a holiday party for 3,000 kids every year who have been impacted by the judicial system. So these are foster kids. They're kids with parents who are incarcerated, whatever. And it's the Christmas that they don't normally get outside of that. So they get to spend the day at the Dome, they get fed lunch, they get to meet the players, to get their pictures taken, they meet Santa, they meet cheerleaders, they get to take home books, they decorate cookies, and then at the end of the day, they get to take home gifts that were selected just for them, and that's their Christmas. So that takes an enormous amount of volunteers. We have thousands of volunteers every year that go towards that program. BAMSL also coordinates the high school mock trial program for the state of Missouri. And that is one of my responsibilities as the AED, is coordinating the mock trial program. So any high school mock trial program in the state of Missouri is coordinated through our office. We have regional coordinators at the Missouri Bar and also in Kansas City that handle the different regions. So we need volunteers throughout the state every year for the competitions. So we're looking at law students and paralegals to be jurors. We're looking at experienced attorneys to be the evaluators. And we also need judges to sit there and do their job. They judge from the bench. So when you go look at the opportunities that BAR provides you, it's a lot of networking. You know, of course, everybody knows it's not what you know, it's who you know. So when you're looking for that job, you know, you need to know people who are in the field, in the practice area that you want to be in. So get out there and network. You know, our Young Lawyers Division does a monthly happy hour. It doesn't cost you anything to go. Sometimes we get it sponsored, so there's free drinks and appetizers. Sometimes it's a cash bar, but it's always a good time, and you'll always meet somebody that you didn't know before. Get involved with committees and sections, and in the ABA there's also the forum. So get involved with those groups of you know, attorneys that practice in the area that you want to be in. And then you know, of course, the local bars are going to offer some of the same other benefits as the ABA. You're going to get discounts on certain things. One of the things we do for law students is we heavily discount the CLE programs. Many of them are free. You often just pay for your lunch because we do most of our CLEs at lunchtime. So you know, you can either brown bag it, or if you want us to order a lunch for you, you just pay for your lunch. Otherwise, most of the time, our programming is free for law students. You know, we know that law students don't need the CLE hours, but it's a great opportunity to learn something new and to meet new people. So you know, that's the big things. You know, when you go looking at the local and state bars, get involved, meet new people, and find out what you like.
Great. Yeah, I think one of the biggest benefits of the local bars are those networking opportunities. I know that KCMBA offers a monthly happy hour as well, and some of the really cool places that they've done it, they were doing kind of a law student membership drive when I was starting law school, and so they hosted their monthly networking mixer at the law school, which was really nice because, I mean, I just kind of got up from studying, went and met 20 different attorneys and had a great time. So do you want to maybe touch on some of the cool networking mixers that you've had in St. Louis?
Sure, and actually I didn't even mention, but we have started even an opt-out membership program for law students. So with St. Louis University, all law students are automatically members of BAMSL unless they say they don't want to be. The school has been really great working with us on that. We're working to bring it to WashU and Mizzou as well. You know, we're not limited to just the St. Louis area. Of course, we focus on St. Louis because that's where we're based, but we have members from all over the country and even all over the world. So, you know, you can get involved anywhere you want to be. KCMBA is great. The other local bars are great. I'm involved with the National Association of Bar Executives, and it's an organization of just exactly what it sounds like, bar leaders, and the staff leadership. And you know, we get together and we talk about our challenges, and we talk about what we can offer, and you know, what are other people doing that's not working, what are they doing that does work. So you know, we have those conversations between the bars, and you know, so get involved. And so backing up to your question, Jordan, since I went on my little tangent. We've done happy hours at, we've done them at the law schools. We've done, we just did one with one of the local service providers, Jurastat, who does patent analytics to tell you kind of, if you get a certain examiner, what are your chances of coming out in your favor? So they're a local startup. They've been around for just a couple of years, and they had a new office, and they wanted to sponsor a happy hour. So we held it at their office, and everybody got to see what they're doing, and that's kind of cool. We have St. Louis. We have a ton of breweries. So we hit the local breweries. We do we just find the little spots that everybody likes to hang out at. That we've got a great little bar district down in Soulard. So we've got at St. Louis, we've got a ton of places to hold happy hours. But one of the things we do at the happy hours to encourage people to go, whether they're young lawyers or we invite the OLD as well. And we offer a raffle for anyone who's in attendance for a $50 Visa gift card. So all you have to do is show up, meet a couple of people, drop your card in, maybe you'll win $50.
Yeah, that sounds great. And one of the things I wanted to mention about local bars is that it's a fabulous way, not only through networking, but it's a fabulous way to get a job. I know that KCMBA every year hosts the Heartland Diversity Legal Job Fair, which is actually where I got my job for after graduation. It was set up kind of like OCI, but in one day. So it was very nice to be able to go and interview with 7 or 8 employers that day, and it actually turned out to benefit me, and I kind of landed a dream job through there. So that's something I also want to mention is the ABA has this phenomenal career service page as well, but the local bar also has those opportunities for you, and it's a great way if you're interested in staying in that community to reach out and potentially find something that works for you after graduation. But and also the Missouri Bar does great networking as well, and law students can be members. And even at the annual meeting this summer, I was able to kind of show off the Missouri Bar by bringing some of my friends to the Missouri Bar reception. They hosted something where they invited everyone who was in the Missouri Bar or a law student in Missouri to come to this event, and it was really great. It was at the top of the Sears Tower, so it had spectacular views of Chicago, and it was just a great time to be able to network with some pretty big names in Missouri. But Fabi, I kind of wanted to ask you, what are some of the things you found beneficial either through the Georgia Bar or through Atlanta or the Macon Bar, if those exist?
So they do exist, and they're very active. Well, I think one of the most interesting things that we've been able to find is just.
Oh no.
Oh.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's how the connections at those receptions, very similar to what Daniel was talking about, that happens at Missouri. How through those receptions, I was just at one last night, and I'm going to another one this evening, where judges, where private attorneys, that's how they offer jobs, just so easily. And it's amazing how much more, what they call it, the kind of the shadow or the quiet job market, the availability. So much is done through word of mouth, and it's through building that rapport, having your business cards and exchanging them, where people are able to line up at in the fall right now those summer associateships for next year. I think that's a big deal. We have a big football culture here in Georgia. You guys probably do too. So a lot of firms and a lot of bar associations throw tailgates at some of the big games that we have with our universities. And so Mercer, even though Mercer is not an SEC school, we even have a football team as of just a few years ago. And so these are all great, fun opportunities that are unconventional maybe to at face value, but such a great opportunity to kind of break some of the formalities that the construction of a law firm inherently has, and to just be able to build a relationship, build a friendship like that. And so, in so many of these receptions, tailgates, dinners, etc., you can. It's a launch point for an interest lunch later, or just an opportunity to ask somebody for advice. I've definitely seen how just asking some of these judges, some of these practicing attorneys for their advice, not asking them for a job, but asking them for their wisdom, is not only one of the biggest compliments you can pay to them, but also one of the best ways to get a door open. Because when they feel, and hopefully you're genuinely asking for their guidance, when they feel that interest is not ulterior, right? There's so much more genuine expression and pointers that they give you, and so to ask for advice and be able to do that in these kind of unconventional settings is something that the bars here in Georgia offer, and I'm sure like those volunteer opportunities that Daniel talks about are key moments for those relationships to be built and be able to kind of connect with somebody in a way that a stuffy office wouldn't be able to.
Right. That's great information, and I mean, we do like our Chiefs and our Rams, but I think we're very much more in favor of the Royals and Cards right now, as they're both in postseason. Maybe we'll have an I-70 series again, like '85.
Oh, wow.
So
That's beyond my pay grade, my goodness.
yeah, so I wanted to kind of open it up to anyone who's viewing right now to kind of ask us questions about how the ABA or your state or local bar association can benefit you specifically. So, and also I want to ask anyone viewing about what benefits you would like to see us provide through the Law Student Division. Is it maybe providing more of these webinars on more of a national scale with people like Paulette Brown, the president of the ABA, or is it something like more discounts? Would you like a discount at Dunkin' Donuts or something like that? So I know I would honestly love to have some sort of coffee discount. That I get to school around 7 a.m. every morning, so my mornings are usually pretty groggy, and so a nice little pick-me-up like that would be great. Or I don't know, I think having more discounts at different clothing stores would be beneficial as well. Vineyard Vines is somewhere that is now kind of expanding, or maybe what is it, J-Loft or something like that, that does men's suits. Would be beneficial as well. So, Fabi, what's one of the benefits on your wish list for the ABA Law Student Division?
Well, let me see. As you can tell, I'm quite a bow tie aficionado, and so that's one thing that I really like about our Brooks Brothers partnership, that I can get some discounts there. Let's see. I would definitely say that something with technology is something that would be huge, right? So, like for example, right now I'm talking to you from a Surface. It's a new toy that I got over the summer, and I think that technology is how we define so much of our profession now. How we demonstrate that we're just cutting edge in our profession, and the ability to be able to purchase something like this, an iPad. A Mac Air, reaching out to some of those big tech firms, technology conglomerates, would be huge to be able to get some sort of discount and benefit. So that would be me, especially now that the Steve Jobs movie is out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Any sort of discount on software would be great. What about you, Dan? What's something that's on your wish list? Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I was thinking. I think it's well, for me, one is dry cleaning.
Yeah.
That adds up pretty quick. But aside from that, which is way too local for the ABA, it's actually something we're working on locally. Good reason to join the local bar. I think it is ways to. I think going to Fabian's point, I think it's looking at ways to network without being in person. There's some of us, will want to stay in the local area, but others will want to move across the country. So how do you make those relationships with, if I'm in St. Louis right now, how do I make relationships with somebody in Seattle if that's where I want to end up? You can send cold call emails or pick up the phone. But if there was maybe a facilitated way to make some of those connections online, maybe it's a hangout, or maybe it's just getting on the forums and finding somebody that practices in that field in that certain area. But I think that's something that we could be beneficial to people.
Great. And so, seeing no questions, I think we're about ready to wrap up. So I want to thank everyone who viewed, and I hope you found something beneficial and learned a little bit about the ABA, your state and local bars as well. And just to wrap up real quick, how about we go through and say the top one benefit that we think out of either the ABA or your state and local bar. So personally for me, it's the job opportunities and employment opportunities. So Fabi, take it away.
Well, I'm partial. This podcast just launched, so I would say that's one of the number one things that we're offering right now. And I think it's just, to that point about technology, it's just one more way that we're getting tech savvy and bringing benefits to what Daniel was talking about, people right in the comfort of their own home, their own state. So yeah, that would be one big thing I would highlight.
Great, thanks. And Dan, how about you? What's the one takeaway that someone should take away from the state and local bar?
Networking. You can never know enough people, whether it's now and you're looking for that first job, or you have a job and you're looking for your next move, or even if you just need referral business. That's one of the networking aspects that people don't often think about is, you're going to need to drive clients in somehow, and what better way to do it than to network with others outside your practice area. If you're a patent attorney, you get in with the business law section because they're going to have businesses that are developing things, and they're going to need a patent attorney. Why not send them to you?
Right, absolutely. That's great advice from both of you, and I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join us. Beyond that, I just want to say thank you to our viewers and thank you to the ABA for letting us do this. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me, Dan, or Fabi in the upcoming weeks to learn more about what we can do for you. So thank you so much, and have a great weekend, everyone.